What's going on, guys? Music Legend here, and today I'm going to be doing a brand new album review of an album that I really like from a band that I have yet to talk about on this channel, surprisingly, and that is Mesmerize by System of a Down. I love this album. I'm just going to get that off my chest right at the beginning of this video. I absolutely love this album. Now, at face value, a lot of the songs seem really ridiculous. A lot of the writing, people are probably wondering, why do you like this album? It's very deep. Some of the songs, it's made kind of blatantly obvious what the lyrical point is, but I really like how it's conveyed. I love this album. So let's get to it. So this album was released in 2005, part one of System of a Down's two-part album released that year. This is the first part being Mesmerize. The second part was released later in the year, and that is Hypnotize. Mesmerize is the better of the two and probably the best System album in my opinion. In terms of songs, Toxicity is very close behind. Don't get me wrong, that album is magnificent as well. So track one to this album, getting right into the swing of things, is Soldier Side Intro. Now this is just a quick minute or so kind of intro to the song. It's the chorus and some guitar before or whatever. It's kind of just a little bit of an intro to the song, Soldier Side, which is featured on Hypnotize. So people get a taste of, oh, this is what the album is going to be like lyrically, and then the next album, obviously that's going to be a full track. It's a pretty good song in its full form, but I'll do a Hypnotize review at a later date. I definitely want to review System's discography because it's very good. Anyway, so the song is basically about soldiers, their feelings, their emotions, you know, them not wanting to feel like pawns, you know. That's the grand scale of the main song, and that's kind of the chorus as well of this. Track 2 is BYOB. Normally BYOB means bring your own beer or bring your own booze, but in this case, it means bring your own bomb. Now essentially this is an anti-George Bush song. Now George Bush Jr. was president during the time of when this album was made. And a lot of bands like, you know, Green Day, Rage Against the Machine, even bands like Linkin Park kind of, and songs like Hands Held High, kind of like to take jabs at the president. This song, at face value, may sound like just a jump up and yeah, kind of bump around song, and a lot of people treat it like that, but lyrically, it's very deep, and it's got a lot of substance to it. Now, essentially, this song talks about, to quote one of the lines, why do presidents fight the war, why do they always send the poor? Essentially, it's about basically, people are angry at the president that he's sending these soldiers over to Iraq and Afghanistan and the Middle East to fight, you know, the terrorist groups over there, and they're just being treated like pawns. And they're angry, and they're voicing their frustration through this song. And I think that that's a really good message for a lot of people. And I'm a huge supporter, I mean absolutely huge supporter of the United States military, all branches of it, men and women that serve. So I think that this is a really good message to be sent through. A very good song. It's also got a very infectious chorus, very catchy lyrics. It's very memorable. Surge's ridiculous kind of screaming on the verses thing is so well done. But the best part about this song to me is definitely the I just love the guitar riff in this song. It's so catchy, it's so great. Track 3 is Revenger. Now this song is really just about sweet revenge and getting revenge, and that's kind of what the name is. It's more a filler track on this album. There's not really a lot. There's only about 2 filler songs, I'd say, on this album. This is kind of just there to be a song. It's about, you know, revenge and whatnot. It's in the typical rock formula of making a song, lyrically, musically, and whatnot. But it's decent enough. The next song is, at track 4, is Cigaro, or Cigarro. It's Cigaro in the song. This song is ridiculous. Like, in terms of lyrics, I can't even quote it because it's very, very explicit. But it's essentially about people being braggadocious and people shoving around other people and kind of bossing around. You know, it could apply to the government, it could apply to a bully. It's pretty relatable, even though some of the lyrics are, granted, rather ridiculous. It plays an important point. It has an important enough message. Track 5 is Radio Video. Now this song is weird. It's like a kind of French kind of doo-dee-dee kind of, it's not really a ballad, but It kind of, to me, reminds me of The Room. I don't know if you guys know what that is, but The Disaster Artist is essentially about that, if you've seen that movie, or The Room. The Room is like a cult classic movie that's like the worst movie ever made, or whatever. It's like kind of like almost a home film made by Tommy Wiseau. And this song reminds me of it. It says, "Sweet Danny and Lisa." Now I get the kid in the room, his name is Denny. Technically that's close enough to Danny. To me this is like a weird song, but I'm on the radio, on the video. It kind of reminds me of Tommy Wiseau. I don't really know what the point of this song was. To me it's more of a filler track. I don't really entirely, get why it's on here, but it works, so I'll take it. Track 6 is "This Cocaine Makes Me Feel Like I'm on This Song." Now, yeah, as the name would state, it's ridiculous. It is crazy, off the walls, just madness. The vocals, the crashing drums, the fast guitars and bass, everything really kind of feels like a massive, whoa, my brain on drugs. This is your brain on drugs, basically, through a song. And that's kind of the point. Another example of this would be one of their older songs, "Psycho," which is on Toxicity. Psycho, groupie, cocaine crazy, you can quote some of the lyrics. It's kind of in that same drug kind of, category of their lyric writing. Track 7 is "Violent," the thing that there's a hub for. I'm not going to say the word because YouTube's going to censor me. They don't censor dead bodies, but they'll censor me saying it. Essentially, this song, at face value, seems like it's about that topic. But it actually is about the media kind of brainwashing people and showing them things they don't want to see, The media has become so centered around, issues of people, doing it, or people, swearing or whatnot, that kids are being exposed to this at such a young age. Like, it's ridiculous at this point. And that's kind of what this song is about. Like, this is the stuff you see on your TV, to quote it. Like, people are just okay with seeing disturbing stuff or overly sexualized stuff on their TV, and they're not really thinking about it, they're just taking it in. Take for like E or Bravo, one of those really trashy channels, take that for example. That's kind of like this. Track 8 is "Question." This is a very underrated and very good System of a Down song. In terms of underrated, it's pretty popular, but it's snubbed from a lot of lists. This is one of my favorite songs ever in their discography. It's not my favorite. My favorite's later in this album, but it's very good. It's essentially about the question of where do people go when they die. Now, obviously, heaven is where a lot of people go. Well, that's where I believe I'm gonna go. But I'm not gonna force religion, but I mean, I have the freedom to talk about it. Man, this album really brings out my political side and, my talk side. Anyway, "Question" is about that, sweet berries and ghosts waiting and kind of the lingering idea of death is nigh. Where am I going? Oh no, my life is a colossal mess. What do I do? That's kind of the throw your hands up questioning, like question where you're gonna go. That's basically the point of this song as well. Man, these songs are deep. Anyway, track 9 is "Sad Statue." This song is another really good song, essentially talking about the generation that failed. Like a sad Statue of Liberty. It doesn't mean the Statue of Liberty. Lady Liberty is literally hands in her face, crying, weeping, out on next to Ellis Island, in the Hudson River or whatever, or New York Harbor. I'm trying to remember. I've been to New York like once. I've been there. I'm trying to remember what it's in. Anyway, this song is essentially about the statue, not about the physical statue, but about the state of the country, the generation that's not agreeing. This applies a lot to today, where the two political parties are so divided. People are fighting. It's about the generation that failed. It's very catchy. It's got kind of some chilling, kind of more serious vocals from Serge. He does a great job vocally on this album, I will say that. This song is another great example of that. It's well written. It's got, good enough guitar work, although it's not overly ridiculous. And yeah, the next song, track 10, is "Old School Hollywood." Now this has got a weird kind of 80s sounding synthesizer at the beginning, which segues into this weird robotic voice. And then it's essentially like Darren singing about like, "Hey man, don't you touch my belt." Like, yeah, it sounds weird. It is weird. I've tried to figure out what the lyrical message is, and a lot of people think that there's a very subliminal or subtle message in this song. According to what I've heard from a lot of people and looked up, literally the point of this song is Darren went to a old school kind of Hollywood baseball game where a lot of old washed up, TV celebrities and stuff from the past kind of played this game of, rec baseball, and that's kind of the point, literally the point. Like old school Hollywood, washed up Hollywood, he's like seeing people that he remembers from TV. That's literally the point of the song. It is pretty pointless, but granted, the synth is very kind of creepy, honestly, and catchy. I love the synth in this, but the guitars kind of freak me out a little bit. I don't know why, but this song has always kind of scared me a little bit. I'm not really sure why. I can't explain or fathom, but it's kind of creepy. And track 11, Lost in Hollywood. Now this, to me, is the magnum opus of this album, and System of a Down's best song overall, in my opinion. Loudwire agreed, actually. They didn't agree with me, but I agree with them. I saw that #1 on their list. Way to go, guys. You know where it's at. I love Loudwire. Anyway, Lost in Hollywood is different from old school Hollywood. This is the song about issues in Hollywood, people selling out, people becoming, the casting couch and the issues. This really, again, applies to today. The lyrical content of this album can apply to today still, too. And that's what makes it really good and really relevant. And this song is about, the casting couch. You should have never went to Hollywood. They thought they told you, oh, you're the best we've ever seen, and then you have a mental breakdown and you can't do it. And this happens to a lot of celebrities in real life. And this is an issue that's seldom talked about. It's a very haunting song, and it's a great way to leave this album on a very somber, very thought-provoking note. I love that this album does that and ends on this note. I think this is a fantastic way to end. The vocals on this song, for Darren and Serge, are fantastic. I get chills when I hear their vocals in this song, I'm not gonna lie. It's very well done. This song, honestly, is it's just fantastic. There's just nothing bad I can say about it. So overall, I love this album. A lot of people love this album. Critics even like this album. I'd have to give this album a solid 10. Now, I know I have not given an album a 10 before, but this album is awesome. Like, it really is. The lyrical content is so well written, it applies to today and the issues we have today. Songs like BYOB can apply to Trump, why don't presidents, not really the war, but then wars on other things, immigration, drugs, it can apply to those wars. Dancing in the Desert, it could apply to everything happening down south, the whole wall incident. You can kind of, all of the words, sad statue, Democrats and Republicans fighting, Lost in Hollywood, this issue with Harvey Weinstein especially. It's such a all these are such prevalent issues that still apply so well to today's world. I just applaud System for putting this album together because it is beautiful, beautifully made. So guys, that is all for this album review. I love this album, you should check it out. As always, remember to like, comment, or subscribe, and stay tuned for my next video, which I hopefully will be later this week, that I want to do on my top 10 favorite Linkin Park songs. Now this is a video that's going to be fairly hard to edit and make, and I'm going to spend a lot of time on it, so if it runs into next week, I apologize. This video has been requested. People have asked me to do it. I've wanted to do this video, but I've kind of been waiting for it because I'm still kind of conjuring my list, because when I listen to the different Linkin Park songs, my opinions change on them, and I've listened to so many of their songs so many times, it's really difficult for me to conjure a list. But as always, remember to like, comment, or subscribe, and stay awesome.
Trust